What's going on, YouTube world and YouTube tribe? Welcome back to LilBigMan Gaming, bringing you a review for the Royal Rumble 2022. Well, I won't say it not it. Yeah, it wasn't great. So they started us off with Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins. Honestly, I don't think this should have been the first match of the night. Definitely think this should have been like maybe the third, maybe the one right after the Women's Royal Rumble. But maybe the Women's Royal Rumble should have been first. I don't know. But it was an okay match. Okay, like my problem with this match. I love that Seth Rollins came out dressed and even did the Shield entrance. He came out and did the whole Shield entrance. He came out dressed as as his Shield Seth Rollins gimmick, and basically to talk Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins had a pretty much great match. The problem was. The problem was they went for a DQ finish. Now, had I rather like Roman pin Seth Rollins or Seth pin Roman, yeah, I would have rather seen an actual pinfall, especially at a pay-per-view or premium live event, as they call it. It was great up until the point where Roman put Seth into the guillotine, and then basically wouldn't let go after Seth got to the ropes, and Roman said, I can't, he won't let me let go, and all that. I'm like, are they really about to do that? And they really did. They really went for a DQ finish. So technically, Seth Rollins won the match, but he won via DQ. And then he just proceeded to beat the holy hell out of Seth Rollins for basically taunting him and basically getting payback for when he betrayed the Shield. But overall, the match was great up until then. When they went like that, I'm just like, can we actually get a good finish? Like, when was the last time we seen a good finish? But yeah, then we move on to the second match, which is was just the 30 women Royal Rumble match. And Sasha Banks, I did like how even though Sasha Banks, she drew number one, I like how she came out dressed like Sailor Moon. And then my girl Melina came back. I'm not going to go through their entire thing. Like, I got their entire thing written down, from how when it started, who was eliminated. But it's like with two Rumbles, I'm not about to do all that. I will say, I won't even, if you haven't seen it, I'll probably pretty much won't tell you who was eliminated, who what. The thing with this is by far, in my opinion, this was the best, not the best match of the night, but between the men's and the women's Royal Rumble, the women's Royal Rumble outshined the men. Even though pretty much you knew who was going to be in the match, because they pretty much, people were just leaking it left or right. You pretty much knew everybody, and then not just people leaking it, but WWE themselves announcing who was going to be in the match. You pretty much had no surprise entrance. Now, Mickie James' entrance would have been more impactful, to no pun intended, but it would have been more impactful if she was a surprise entrant, and then instead of the hype building up to it, or let that be the only person you announce for the Rumble, was that, either or. I would have took either or. But the fact that most of the people that was in there, save for like a couple of legends, I have I have a thing. The thing that kept ticking me off was that they kept calling people like Summer Rae and Cameron legends. I'm like, they're not really legends. They really was insignificant to the women's division, but this match still entertained me nonetheless, even with its winner Ronda Rousey, who made her return too. Though, would I have preferred her to be the winner of the match? Maybe not. I would have, like, honestly, I would have put. I would say this. I love that they brought Sarah Logan back, too. By the way, I don't know. Like, I would have chose, like, if to have for the final, for the final four. I would have had. I would have had over Ronda. Maybe, yeah, you would have Ronda at as the final four, but I would have Liv Morgan. Uh, I would have had Liv Morgan, Bianca Belair, and I would have said Liv Morgan, Bianca Belair for sure. I want to say Rhea Ripley. Uh, I'm looking back at my list trying to figure out who I would have had. Yeah, as the final four, I would have had Liv Morgan, Liv Morgan, Ronda Rousey, Bianca Belair, and Rhea Ripley. Those would have been my final four women. And then I would have had Ronda got eliminated. I would have had Rhea get eliminated, and then have it down to Liv Morgan and Bianca Belair, with either Bianca Belair getting getting the victory that you think she should have got, or the upset victory, or the shock victory of Liv Morgan winning the Royal Rumble. I really, because you could easily insert, like, Ronda is like Brock Lesnar. She's like Bobby Lashley. He's like it's people that you like, even without the Rumble win, like even without the Royal Rumble, you could insert them into the match easily. They could easily just cut a promo, challenge, and it will make for good TV. But that the Rumble should be reserved for people to elevate them to the next level. And I felt like you could have done that with Liv Morgan. Bianca Belair already got it, so it would just just for the fact that she could have been like 2-time winner, or but give it to Liv Morgan, or you could replace Bianca Belair with Aaliyah or Queen Zelina. Like, you could have did or have Shayna Blazer. You could have had, like they did have, but it had her be the one to win over Ronda or something like that. But I would have rather, even though it was cool to see Ronda back, I wasn't feeling her win. And that was the other thing I didn't like about the women's Royal Rumble was Ronda Rousey's win. Not because I don't like Ronda Rousey, it's just because I just didn't prefer her to win. She was a person that you could just bring back, and you automatically gonna put her in the title match, in the title picture, because she demands it. But yeah, unless she choose, the only way I get on board with Ronda being a winner before I move on is that she chooses to play Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania. For the report, she's supposed to be on SmackDown anyway, so that's what they look like they're going, giving leeway for Bianca Belair or Liv Morgan or somebody to challenge Becky at Royal Rumble. At WrestleMania. But yeah, other than like the fact that none of the shock of, oh my god, I didn't know she was gonna be in there, was stripped away from the women's and the men's. But here we talk about the women's. That being stripped away and Ronda Rousey winning was like my two biggest gripes with that match. The next match was Doudrop versus Becky Lynch. This match was another okay match, though I felt like it was just a little bit sloppy. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe I just was after being really disappointed with the Royal Rumble, the women's Royal Rumble match. Not very disappointed, but disappointed that there was no shock value to it. Um, maybe that's why I was a little down on this match. But it was a great match, but it just never seemed like they never had that momentum of if Doudrop really was about to pull this off. It was like she pretty much was she strong arm Becky, but in the end Becky just basically got the manhandle slam on her. Um, and that's what I was saying. It was like it felt like they never really gave her proper way to shine, not to make her seem legit. Um, but yeah, Becky would end up winning and retaining the Raw Women's Championship. The next match would be Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar. Now this match was going to be my pick of the match of the night because this was the most anticipated match because everybody wanted to see Brock versus Bobby Lashley, right? So, and this match was definitely what it was going to be. It was definitely a good match. It was definitely going to be my match of the night. But I just once again WWE sticks it to me. Once this match brought me back into the pay-per-view. It brought me back to where I was interested. And then they just basically like, oh, you're interested? Kill that interest. Kill it right now. Kill that interest right now. You have Roman come out. Right, once the referee went down, I'm like, oh my God, they not about to do what I think they're about to do. Don't ruin this match. Let this match just go on and let Brock and Bobby decide the winner and loser of this match. Nope, they could not do that. They could not do that at all. So you basically have Brock they accidentally take down they actually bumped into the ref, hurt him a little bit, but then he was trying to get back in it, but then the F5 took him completely out. So now here comes Roman Reigns there's no reason why. Explain to me why, if you know why in the comments, would Roman Reigns want to interfere with Brock Lesnar? If you was Roman Reigns, wouldn't you want to keep Brock Lesnar on SmackDown with the title? I mean, on Raw with the title away from you, because you know you're gonna people are gonna keep challenging him, so he's eventually gonna forget about you. But instead, you go and purposely screw him out of the title, and which undermined the whole thing because now it really didn't give us the match we wanted because we didn't see Bobby from start to finish beat Brock Lesnar, or in an intense, grueling match he won against Brock Lesnar, or vice versa with Brock Lesnar, just barely getting by and beating Bobby Lashley. We didn't get that. We got that for the majority of the matches up until the taking out the ref, which led to the ref not seeing that what Roman Reigns did. And I never understood that concept because how could he come out and do that, but then a new ref who should have seen it, the new ref should have came out instead of counting. He should have came out and DQ'd the match because he wouldn't have known that Roman Reigns came out and laid out Brock Lesnar. But apparently, if you don't see it, if you're in the back and don't see it, but somebody told you to run out there or whatever. But yeah, and then Bobby Lashley would pin off of Roman Reigns, like spearing him and hitting him with the title. Bobby Lashley would pin Brock Lesnar to become the new WWE champion, which I would have preferred that you never even gave Brock Lesnar the championship anyway. Like, you could have kept it on Big E and then have Big E lose it to Bobby Lashley, then had that set up for WrestleMania to repackage and rebuild Big E so that when he won it back at WrestleMania, he would have seen it, he would have actually been it would have been legit. But yet you went this route, which makes me question why would you even give the belt to Brock Lesnar only for him to drop it at the Royal Rumble. But and now I guess since he won, well, we'll get to that. So yeah, Bobby Lashley's a new WWE champion. The next match, which was the match that pulled me back into the Royal Rumble again, was Edge and Beth Phoenix versus the Miz and Maurice. Now this match was a fun match to watch. It was fun to watch the it couple versus the grit couple, and it was for WWE's benefit, for their part, they actually did make Maurice look legit. Like she looks like she could actually like hold her own now. From like the Maurice from back then, the Divas champion Maurice, that era Maurice versus the non-Maurice. The non-Maurice would dominate herself from back then because she looked like she could actually hold her own in the ring. Had I prefer her to do a little bit more than run from Beth Phoenix? Yes. But she looked way better than she did when she from her first time around. And Beth Phoenix and both Edge and Beth Phoenix was the best dynamic duo. They was on point. It was just a great, phenomenal match. So this actually became my pick as the match of the night because it was the only match that I actually didn't have a problem with. This was the only match I never had a problem with. Every match on this list, every match except for Edge and Beth Phoenix versus the Miz and Maurice match, I had a problem with. But in the end, the grit couple would pull out the impressive victory with a double glam slam, and I like how it was pretty much like a oh my Edge instead of ending the match with his spear over on the Miz. They actually he wanted to pay homage to his wife, so they finished the match with her signature, the glam slam on both Maurice and the Miz to seal the victory. Now moving on to the main event of the show, which was the Men's Royal Rumble match. Now the match itself was okay. You had some decent spots like the Omos spot, the Austin Theory. He did have some little longevity, like it was rumored to be. AJ Styles had another longevity. The problem with this match that made this even worse than the women's was one. Big E and Kofi pretty much was just, you never even thought they are former champions, and yet they didn't look good at all in this match. There were only two. I guess, okay, you count Johnny Knoxville, but Johnny Knoxville announced itself already, so it was like that was the part that made it. So basically three. It was only three. Basically, like if they would have kept their mouth shut, it would have been surprise entrance of Johnny Knoxville, Shane McMahon, and Bad Bunny, right? And Bad Bunny was the only, Shane McMahon, Bad Bunny was the ones that we didn't see coming because it wasn't even, at least to my knowledge, there was no rumors about Bad Bunny or Shane McMahon, but it was like Johnny Knoxville. For all the hype and build up around Johnny Knoxville, you didn't really do nothing with him. He just became cannon fodder to the other wrestlers. I'm not saying that I wanted him to go long in the match, but at least I wanted to see more than what they did with him. I really thought that Omar should at least last a little bit longer than when he did, and they didn't really take advantage of his size. Like Omar really should have had the most eliminations of this Royal Rumble. But the key thing with this match was how it ended, as in who won it, and the lack of surprise interest. The Men's Royal Rumble match had, like I said, only two. Because you already knew about Johnny Knoxville, so like people that you didn't know, like oh my God, we didn't know he was gonna be in this type situation with Shane McMahon, Bad Bunny, and they was weak. That was weak as hell. Those were weak. That was weak. Almost cussed. Those was weak spots. For one, Shane should have never been number 28. Shane came out at number 28. and he should have never been number 28. Honestly, Shane should have been like number 10 or number 12 or something like that. He should have been way earlier, and that spot should have been saved for somebody else. Like, honestly, I was hoping to see Corey Graves since we heard that he's cleared to compete, and I heard he was supposed to be in it. But at the because of who came out last, which was Brock Lesnar, I'm like, oh my God. When Brock Lesnar came out, that was it. I'm like, he's about to win this. Because there's not the only people that was left. They was about to like when he eliminated Orton. I was like, yeah, he's okay. It's starting to get more that he's about to win this. He eliminated Riddle. He eliminated. Oh yeah, it came down to Drew McIntyre and Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar was winning, and I was just like, why? First of all, where was Finn Balor? Why not give it to Finn Balor? I'm like, I was just like, you could have chose literally anybody from this list would have been better than Brock Lesnar, in my opinion. That would have been, I would have preferred Kofi Kingston, Drew, Ricochet, give me Omos, Rey Mysterio, Dominic, give me somebody other than Brock Lesnar. No, Randy Orton. You could have gave me Randy Orton. Shane McMahon would have been better than Brock Lesnar. Though did I agree with him being number 28? No, but he would have been a better winner than Brock Lesnar. Like, you gotta stop feeding people to Brock Lesnar. You gotta stop putting your chips in Brock Lesnar. There are other wrestlers you could put in that spot, and it would have been great. But they didn't do that. They went with Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar, like I thought, ended up winning the match. And now he and Ronda were going to WrestleMania for the Fight Day Champion choice. Overall, I was thoroughly to summarize it before I get to that part. They get to my final verdict. The men's Royal Rumble, like I said, the Edge match, that brought me back again into to get invested into the pay-per-view again. Then the men's Royal Rumble completely killed it. I was bored to death watching it. I was literally bored. There was nothing special about this match. I didn't care for Brock Lesnar's spot. I didn't care for Shane McMahon's spot. Literally everybody who came out was boring. Where was the oh man, we could talk about this for days, because guess who came out of this spot? There was nothing. You could have gave me Stone Cold and I would have been satisfied, because at least it was somebody that we didn't know. Yet you got Bad Bunny and Shane McMahon. That was weak. So after that, my whole demeanor for the whole pay-per-view was just like that. That was it. That was Royal Rumble. All right. So in the end, my verdict for this pay-per-view, I give this pay-per-view, this Royal Rumble 2022, 5 out of 10 big ups, because this was not a great pay-per-view. It gets a 5 for the fact that I was entertained mediocrely. Like, the only matches I was entertained, like, that had me entertained was Bobby Lashley versus Brock and the Edge match. Dude drop, like, the other matches, like the matches, I would say matches 1 to 5 were entertaining, but they had their disappointments. The main event was completely disappointing. Like, it was not entertaining at all. But like I said, 1 through 5 was entertaining, but 1 through 4 all had disappointments. The Edge match then wasn't disappointing to me. That was actually the best match out of the pay-per-view to me. But you let me know in the comments You let me know in the comments what you thought of this year's Royal Rumble, because those are my thoughts. And if you enjoyed this review, then you hit that button right there in the upper right corner for all of my wrestling reviews. And if you enjoyed this review so much, you want to support the channel, then hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that post notification button so you get notified when I drop videos, and share. Do all those great things because it helped me give you more and more content, more great content. And as always, hit any one of these videos for my self-appointed great content. Yeah, I got some reaction videos, some more gameplay videos coming up for you guys. But yeah, stay tuned for the next video. Peace.